it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I will be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I will be doing it on John Leguizamo. And I did get this lovely suggestion from Cornflower9258, and thank you so much for the suggestion. Please send in the suggestions even more, and we will be continuing on with the video. If you have not yet become part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as well as hit that notification bell, because I know you guys will love this video. Please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who really likes videos of natal chart analysis, and make sure you hit that like button as well. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. John was born on July 22nd, 1964, and this qualifies him to be a Cancer. With this placement, he tends to be someone who's very nurturing, very sensitive to different things. He's also someone who's very compassionate, but very self-protective. He's also someone who is very security-seeking. He tends to be someone who's very loving and displaying a very high sense of humor. He's also someone who tends to be going to always try his best to give comfort to other people. He's very intuitive due to him being a very water sign. He's someone who's very emotional, but since he's a cardinal placement, he's someone who's very stable and steadfast, and he's someone who's a great listener, and I think this would be great because he is a water sign. So these placements really show the type of person who he is and the type of person he is to other people. Up next would be his moon in Capricorn, which can be a little hard at times to have. He's someone who's very disciplined, and he is someone who's very responsible. He's very punctual in everything that he does, and he's someone who is going to be very well-rounded. He's someone who's rational, and he's someone who always knows what's best for him, and that's something that's very great because knowing what's best for you is very important and very great in this world because only you truly know what's best for you. He's someone who may be very reserved, but he's very committed, very realistic. He's very capable and resilient. He's someone who's very practical and ambitious. He may at times not like to be in touch with his emotions, and he may not express them, but he is someone who's very sarcastic and very fun to be around. Next up would be his Mercury in Leo, and with this placement, he's someone who tends to be very much open out there with his words. His strength is that he is a very great speaker, and he's able to see the big picture of situations that happens. He's someone who speaks as though he has authority, and he's someone who has a lot of admiration from others. He's also someone who tends to be very great with his words, and people may love it or dislike it. However, it's something that's very great of a trait for him because he's someone who's going to be very inspiring when he speaks, and he's very great at promoting himself when he speaks with this placement. So this placement is very great in my opinion because he's able to just have that confidence with himself, and he's also able to speak in a way that people really want to listen. Up next would be his Venus in Gemini, and with this placement, he tends to be someone who's very charming and has a lot of social butterflies. He is someone who values communication, and he loves someone who's able to give him intellectual conversation. So he loves to speak, and he loves others to speak with him as well. With this placement, he is interested in someone with wit, and he's someone who's very playful. He wants to be very lighthearted, and he can talk a lot of times, but he loves to speak about different issues that are very deep. He likes variety, and he's someone who likes changes frequently. He needs someone who will give him freedom, and he's someone who will tend to omit information than lie. He's someone who has a very great group of friends, and he's great at conversations. Up next would be his Mars in Gemini. And with this placement, he's someone who's very gifted with being a multitasker. He's able to do different things, but he's someone who may be very restless when he has no variety. So he needs to do different things all at once. He's someone who often gets bored very easily, and that's something that can be very much difficult for this placement because they're able to absorb a lot of information. They're very great with debating other people, but they have a lot of mental stamina. They are the types of people who may have anxiety because they're always thinking about different things and wanting to do different things, but they're also the types of people who are great with doing different things all at once. They have a short attention span at times, but they're very fun people to be around and very much great innovators. Up next would be his Jupiter in Taurus, and with this placement, he is the type of person that has a lot of good things because with this placement, he may be someone who works. And they're the types of people that will always work on their finance and handling their money. And that's one of the ways they're able to gain success. Working at home is something that is great for him as well. When he starts to handle his finances and money, that's something that's great. He's someone who loves to be surrounded with beauty and art, and that brings him a lot of happiness. He's also someone who loves to have a lot of growth. He wants to have a stable lifestyle, and he's very dependable, protective, and secure about his environment. He's best when he is around those who can provide for himself or he is providing for others. He's someone who can be a little bit possessive, but it's in a good way. Up next would be his Saturn in Pisces. And with this placement, he's someone who has a difficulty with creating boundaries and structure, but he's also someone who has a very great heart. So one of the lessons that he will need to learn is how to have a lot of personal sacrifices. With this placement, that's one of the obstacles, but he's someone who is great with having intuition, and he's creative with many of his talents. He's also someone who tends to maybe put other people first before his own self, and that's something he'll need to work on. With this placement, they often look at the issue as a whole, and they see it as something not very important, especially if it's something that is not particular. So they won't focus on that because they're looking at the grand scheme of things and the bigger picture. Up next would be his Uranus in Virgo. And with this placement, he tends to have a very great intuition. He's able to assess a situation and move ahead in the right direction with the information given him. By assessing the situation, he's able to see the things that will work and would not work, and he's able to see the little details that others are not able to see. With this placement, they're very much revolutionary in regards to pointing out what needs to be fixed, and they usually are able to bring out a solution based off of that. This placement is also great because it's able to see things that other people may not be able to see, or this generation that has this placement, they're able to see things that previous generations weren't able to see, and they're able to bring that into the spotlight as well. Next up would be his Neptune in Scorpio, and with this placement, he is extremely interested in anything deep and mysterious. He's someone who loves to explore and idealize the benefits that can happen from the study of different things like healing and psychology. He's able to experiment with different substances and is able to push his understanding of his inner being to the extreme at times. This placement is also very open-minded to different things that previous generations may not be. They're also the types of people who find pleasure and inspiration from the darkest of placements, and it makes sense because this is a Scorpio placement, and Scorpio placements tend to look at dark things as very interesting and very informative for them. So with this and Neptune, he's able to explore different things that other people may not want to or have not explored before. Up next would be his Pluto in Virgo. So he was born between 1957 and 1972. So he is a part of Generation X. They're all about perfection and they have a down-to-earth attitude. They're all about hardworking, self-improving, and skilled contribution to society. That's something that they were taught and something that they teach people in the next generations and expect from people as well. They're very much about the environment and technological issues. They're also the types of people who are very adept to helping others and offering the practical care necessary to improve anyone's status. And this is something that is a gift because they're able to help people in ways like in regards to their career or in regards to their social standing. They're able to help them with the tools needed. And that's something that a lot of people appreciate and really like. Up next would be his North Node in Cancer. So with this placement, in order for him to really uncover his hidden gifts and talents, he will need to develop these attributes. So noticing and validating his feelings, having empathy for himself and others, nurturing and supporting others, building one's own foundation and security, having an honest disclosure of feelings and insecurity, having humility in his life, accepting others' fluctuating moods without judgment, being able to stay centered in his own feelings. And these are just some of the things that he will need to work on. Another thing that he would need to work on is being able to being vulnerable with himself. Because with this placement made me feel as though their emotions may not matter, but being gentle with himself and understanding with himself is very important. Last but not least, this is Chiron in Pisces, and with this placement, he has the wound of trust. So he may have gone through something at a very young age that made him not really trust people and look at the world in a way that is very different. He's also this type of person who may need to have a lot of soul searching regarding what he should allow and what he should not allow in his life. This placement can also be very hard because they may have gone through a lot of trauma that was very hard for them to deal with, and they may look at the world in a way that is very skewed because based off of the experience they had at a young age or when the traumatic event happened, that is how they see the world. However, trying to heal that trauma and being able to see good and bad and using their intuition will really help them. That's all I had for you lovelies today in regards to John's natal chart. Please let me know down below who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. And thank you so much to the lovely Cornflower 9258 for the suggestion. It is greatly appreciated, and please put down more suggestions down below. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you've hit that notification bell. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so you guys can share this with everyone you know. And last but not least, please make sure you're following all the social media accounts on your screen. And I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye lovelies.